The Crow. Said to be one of the best cult films of all time. Said to be one of the best movies of all time, or depending who you're asking. Of course, I can go on forever and say how much The Crow, first film, how much it was a nightmare for the director, how they lost their actor, and how they had to continue without their actor, and how they had to use special effects, to create their actor in the movie. I can go on forever and tell you how much The Crow is good, and how much it could have been much good if that fatal accident didn't happen to Brendan Lee. So as much as I like to go on and on, you guys know what I have to say. The Crow's great. Yeah. I think everybody likes to say that's their just cliche costume that they rather wear on Halloween, which I don't blame them. I actually did dress as the Crow at a anime in Boston, but anyways, today I'm going to do something a little bit more faithful, where it's me actually ranting about it. Instead of talking about one film of the Crow sequels, why not talk about, hold on one sec, all three films. City of Angels, Crow Salvation, and of course, what I always know you guys wanted me to talk about, The Crow Wicked Prayer. So, I'm going to take this time to try to maybe not review, maybe rant review on these things as the best way I can possibly do. And let's see how many minutes do I have to come up with to talk about them. Well, starting with the first, The Crow City of Angels. Let me just tell you this. When I first saw this, I thought, so is this the first film, or is this like the first film or something like that? I'm like, okay. So honestly, I didn't know what The Crow was during the time when I first saw this. But then seeing the actual full film, seeing the first, then realizing, oh, the second one is so City of Angels is a sequel. Yeah, I was kind of confused by that. But either way, all I can tell you is this is the worst sequel I've ever watched. I mean, this is indeed the worst sequel I've ever watched in my entire life. Well, I'll probably include that. Okay, maybe that. Definitely that. But either way, City of Angels kind of really sucks because, well, so many reasons. Now, I understand that they wanted to do City of Angels without Brendan Lee and saying, so instead of just Eric Draven, why not someone else that can also be the Crow? Clearly, if you have read the novel or comic book or some type of... The Crow is all about Eric Draven, who pretty much is the Crow. But now seeing how since the first film was a big, huge hit, I guess making a sequel was inevitable. So clearly all I can just tell you is that they really were desperate to make a sequel. Even if they have to get Harvey Weinstein to be their producer or executive producer. But still, fuck him. Either way, even though they had Weinstein as their producer, their original take of the film was they were satisfied, but unfortunately, Mr. Weinstein was not satisfied. So pretty much there was a lot of things they had to reshoot, shoot again, and basically go with the cut that we now know as today. But despite that, this is just a boring, kind of dull action movie. It's not really... Some of the bad guys are not even fighting back. I mean, of course there is another bad guy or bad woman in the movie who is played by the late Yellow Ranger Tree Train. And to be honest, Even her fight scene with the guy who plays the Crow is kind of dull and awful. I mean, that's now... I have the utmost respect for the original Yellow Ranger. But here, I don't even think they got a good fight choreographer to do the scene better. It just looks like they're just playing around with each other and acting like a bunch of dumbasses. And also, the original cut for her to get killed was just for her to be paralyzed. But unfortunately, Mr. Weinstein's like, no, kill her off. That's a lot better. Yeah. Yep, you are definitely rolling in your grave right now, finding out that he's in prison. But either way, all I can tell you is, and I guess I might as well talk about another thing. The main bad guy steals the crow, and I don't mean the crow, I mean the actual bird. Steals the actual crow's power and becomes the Shadow. So either way, how can I say this? So the Crow loses his powers and somehow defeats the main bad guy as a Deus Ex Machina. Yeah. But either way, how can I say this? City of Angels would have been a lot good if it had more action. And also Iggy Pop. Now, those of you guys who probably do not know who the hell Iggy Pop is, let me just tell you, he was kind of the thing of the 90s. What's the best way I can describe him? Well, either way, he was a big thing in the 90s. He was in every 90s movie, kid show movie, kid movie or whatever. He was pretty much this rock star guy who looks like he's coke or meth, however you want to say it. But I would have loved to see him get into an actual fight scene with the actor who plays the Crow. But here he just gets taken out just like that. But sadly, you know, the final fight, I think, is a cop-out. The actor who plays the Crow gets his ass kicked. Sarah, who they brought back from the first film, who's played by a different actress, gets killed, and that's it. So the Crow defeats the main bad guy. Like I once said, Deus Ex Machina. And now let's move into Crow's Salvation. Let me just tell you this. This one might be the lesser of evil of the sequels. Maybe it might be the best sequel out of all of them, but still not good as the first. Crow's Salvation, I'm going to tell you this. It's okay. Okay, the best thing I can describe is since City of Angels pretty much bombed at the box office, mostly the revival of the sequels, but still not as good. This one pretty much, well, the first film he was pretty much revenging his girlfriend. The second film he was revenging his son. This third film he's once again avenging his girlfriend. And except this time, he's now accused for killing his girlfriend, and pretty much, what else can I really say, but he's been brought back by the Crow, even though the Crow was killed in the last film. But let me just tell you, somehow, some way, somebody with zigzags on his arm, stuffed the Crow, made it a, stuffed, model or whatever. And somehow, for some strange reason, the Crow magically comes to life and resurrects the actor who plays the Crow now. And now, let me go into another thing. The main bad guys are crooked cops. Yeah. But either way, how can I really say this? The acting in this one is actually not good.
Not good.
Not good. Not good.
It's not. Some of it is passable. Some of it's kind of the delivery of the acting is kind of not so good. But now let me go on to a more important thing I want to talk about. The actor who plays the Crow. The actor who plays the Crow is actually... I don't think he's a bad actor. I just think his delivery is kind of, not so good. But depending who you're asking. But let's talk about the one main bad guy, or the one main actor I can probably say, who is one of the bad guys in this film, is the guy who plays the chief commissioner, or chief something, I don't know. The captain. Played by an actor you may have saw in a few other movies in the 90s. But let me just tell you, his acting is awful. I mean, fucking awful. I mean, I watched this guy. I'm like, I know this guy is a good actor. But here, it's like he is awful. Just awful. And the fact that these cops can't figure out that, who is this guy with, marks on his face, trying to kill me or something like that. And I'm like, you can't put 2 and 2 together. That's the same guy you gave the chair to. And you're like, oh, now I know who you are. Like, you guys are dumb. And yes, let's talk about the one thing you want me to talk about. Kirsten Dunst. To be fair, she's alright. Yeah. I got nothing bad to really say about her. I got nothing bad to really say about her in general. She's just alright. Yeah. She's actually might be the best part of this movie. And it's kind of funny. Her name is first, then the guy who plays the Crow is later, but I don't know, maybe that's just me overanalyzing stuff. So either way, the effects for these are actually not bad. Some of the Crow bird effects, they look very 1995 PlayStation graphics or something. But either way, now let's go into another thing I should probably say. The Crow Wicked Prayer. Okay, I know I make low budget short films that are probably maybe have not seen the light of day, or maybe some people have seen them that don't get like 1,000 views on them. But let me just tell you this. If I was a director for a Crow film, I would have made a much more better movie. I'm all about low budget special effects, but good God, this director who directs The Crow Wicked Prayer does not have a qualm of making a good movie. And it's sad because he made this. I mean, I really want to buy the Blu-ray or DVD of that, but good God, this Crow sequel is just awful. I mean, I know it's low budget, but I know people say, well, hey, you make low budget special effects movies too. Or at least I could make my movies have less limitaries. At least I don't try to, at least I don't let myself get limited about how much special effects I can make, or what type of, green screen or anything like that. But good God, I would have made a much more better movie. Here, it's like their budget was practically like $50. Just $50 for the budget. The budget of this must have been like, yeah, probably $50. And yes, I know I make low budget special effects action movies in general, but I don't try to limit my imagination. I don't try to limit anything. If anything I want to show, if I want to show someone getting their eyes cut out, I would have done it as low budget as possible and show someone's eyes getting cut out. or showing someone getting their heart stabbed out. Like this movie clearly did not have the special effects budget, and it's just one of those movies where the sequels go downhill. And yeah, I know you're saying, well, you make those type of movies. Well, for one thing, I'm not a big-time studio, and I did not do a sequel to a movie that was super successful. And for one thing, hold on one sec. The Crow, the first film, had better special effects. It had better acting. It had a better villain. And for this was like they couldn't afford anything. They even couldn't afford better gore effects, better blood effects. It just looked like they couldn't afford any of that. And that's how low budget it looks. It just looks awful. It looks like it's a PG-13 movie with rated R swearing. And that's what I mean. It just looks like a PG-13 movie with just rated R swearing, no real violence, no real anything, no real, intense violence or anything. It's just like cutaway, or cutaway. Like, that's all it just looks. It looks like they don't even look like they're trying. It just looks like they're just doing the best cutaways that they can. Or just best showing what's supposed to be on screen, have it not be on screen. But yeah, Tara Reid, the actor who plays Angel. And let's talk about the only good thing I seem to like about The Crow Wicked Prayer. Edward Furlong's costume, the music, that's it. And that's just sad. How one actor is the only good thing, and his costume and the music. And I'm not lying, the music is beautiful. The music is absolutely, something I wish that I could come up with. But good God, the music in this, it doesn't belong in this movie. It would have had the worst music of all time in this film, but heck, the music is actually good. I actually want to buy the CD of it or whatever. Or record it on my phone or record it on something, but good God, this one is just awful. I mean, I did mention those 3 things I liked about it, but it's just awful. The final fight is just a terrible mess. But good God, this is what it means when you beat down a sequel or beat down something that was already successful and you beat it down. And yes, the Crow TV show, Stairway to Heaven, I don't care. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. I just don't care. I don't care. I don't really care. But either way, all I can tell you is, they did get a good actor to replace Brendan Lee, and that is the guy from Iron Chef. I know he has a real name, but no, I'm calling him the guy from Iron Chef. And that's it. So either way, people, all I can just tell you is these Crow sequels and TV shows, is proof that Hollywood just wants to make more money, more of that, dough that they can make from the first film. And yes, seeing how they are trying to make a Crow reboot. Look, I know I said my piece about that. I know you guys don't like the fact that I don't like their rebooting The Crow. But I'll accept whatever new thing they try to do. If it's just another Crow's movie without Brendan Lee, then I told you so. But, if it's, another Crow film, or just a Crow film that's actually better, please, just... Michael?
So just leave me alone.
So either way, that's the end of Halloween. And look forward for a special video I'm coming up with on a certain franchise that's getting another movie this year. That is... Who you gonna call? That's right, Ghostbusters 2.